What's up, y'all? We're back here with the Eron podcast. I'm here with my special guest, Amber Harris. She was a 2006 Miss Basketball. She's a two-time state champion, played the WNBA and has played overseas the past couple of years, and as well as played at Xavier University. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So we're just going to get right into it. What was it like being from Indianapolis, playing basketball in the area with a ton of good hoopers? What was that experience like growing up?
I mean, Indiana's a big basketball state, so the experience alone it was phenomenal. Like, I loved playing basketball. Playing basketball here, growing up, the best ways to, get good. You play outside with your people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up in this, like, Indianapolis, like, having a great AAU program that I played for, family, Mr. Merriweather, Kevin Merriweather, and it was just – he made it a great experience, just kind of, bounce around, go traveling places and, getting out there. So I loved growing up playing ball in the city because it's a basketball state. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So obviously you had one of the best, high school teams of all time at North Central High School. Talk about that experience. Like, I was at the game when you actually dunked the basketball. Like, that was amazing. Like, specifically talk about that experience.
Well, the one that the second dunk that I had when I dunked at Southport was
I was at that game.
The best one. That probably was the best one. That was amazing. Like I do remember me trying to do that. I don't know. I just felt like it was a good time to try to dunk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Young legs, so might as well try. But it felt great. Like, it felt good, and it felt like, that's what people saw me. I'm like, okay, people gonna see me now. Like, so
yeah.
that felt good. Like, I could feel the energy of people getting hype about it. People still get hype about it to this day when they tell me about it. I saw your dunks on YouTube. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, talk about that team. Obviously, you guys won state twice. There was a lot of good, talented players, specifically Brianna Bass, who played at Tennessee. Talk about that team in general, why you guys were so successful.
Man, we were successful because, we locked in back then. Like, everything, we was very team oriented. Not one person was like outshining another person. Like, we literally just played as a team, and that experience with those girls, and it was fun back then. Like, I loved it. We was 23-3 one year.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh man, and we won the state title, and it was just great feeling. So I love playing with them. I miss them, man. I miss them. I seen Brianna at the Big Ten. I went to the Big Ten, and she's having a baby and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, the time's is going by. So
yeah,
it was amazing playing with them girls.
So talk about your experience, winning Miss Basketball. Obviously, you won Miss Basketball with Greg Oden, who obviously is one of the greatest to ever play in high school. Obviously, was the number one draft pick. Talk about that experience and your excitement when you found out.
Oh man, it was crazy. It was pretty close between me and Ashley Barlow. So I didn't know who was gonna get it or whatever. But it was a great experience. Like, that's a great honor. Like, anybody who want to be playing, like, one of the best basketball players in the state, So for me at that time, it felt really good. Like, I was excited. I was, got to take a picture next to Greg. Like, Greg is so tall.
Yeah.
And, I'm just like, it was amazing feeling. It was amazing.
So talk about, getting recruited to Xavier, why you chose Xavier when, you had 1,000 offers. You pretty much could have went anywhere in the country. Why'd you choose Xavier?
I chose Xavier. One, it was close to home. Cincinnati down the street. And at first I was going to go to Purdue, but the coach left, and I had an interview with the new coach. I wasn't really feeling it, so I wanted to weigh my options because I had verbally committed. And then I went to Xavier and met the coaches and everybody. It was just great vibes, and I liked it. Small school, focused on basketball only. So, I felt like I could come to a program and kind of change it around. And when I got there, that's exactly what happened. Everything just changed. Everything, it was just amazing. So Like that's what came down to it. Like I wanted to be close to my family. Like they come to the games. Like every game they can come to, every home game and tournaments and stuff like that. So it was great to be just close to home.
So, talk about, making it to the WNBA. What was that experience like? What was the process of getting ready for it like? Because I know this is a lot different than playing in college than going to the NBA because, you have an entire draft process. But in the WNBA, you go straight from playing in college to right after, you making that adjustment. So how was that? And, what are some things that you did?
Well, when I first got, everybody was, I'm pretty sure everybody has some nerves going into the, WNBA draft and getting drafted. Anybody crazy if they say they don't. But it was very exciting because, when I was in fourth grade, I always dreamed of making it to the WNBA. I wrote it down in I had to make a book in class. And it was like, what are your dreams? And I wanted to make it to the WNBA. And I ended up making it, and that feeling was like so surreal. Like I didn't know like what was happening. Like at the time when I got drafted, had to walk up on a podium and hold the jersey. Like that feeling right there is like, okay, you're there. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're there. So I was just like, wow, this is just a new chapter of my life, and I'm ready to fulfill every moment from now. So that's what that felt like.
So for sure. So, let's talk about some of your, favorite moments of being in the WNBA. Obviously, you played against, not for the WNBA Fever in the NBA with the WNBA Finals. What was that experience like?
Man, okay, so the first title we won against Atlanta, and then we had Indiana. The next year.
At that one, I was at that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the league like catch me to get a title. Like the league wanted catch definitely to get a title, but it wasn't even like Indiana was just so locked in. We had no answer for Indiana.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. Like they played on a whole different level. Like they wanted it. You can really tell. And like that experience just playing against the hometown, like the crowd, like I almost felt like I was at a Pacers game.
Yeah.
The whole arena was full. There was no seating.
Yeah, it was a unique experience. It was all red.
Oh, it was amazing. I would never forget that. Like, Indiana is known for having great crowds, for the women. It's pretty amazing. So it was just like, oh my God. On the opposite side, I wish I was kind of on Indiana at the time. But just, man, that was amazing. I loved it.
So, talk about the year before and winning it all.
Oh man, that was amazing too. Like because we beat them, then they lost to Atlanta, and then we beat Atlanta again the third year. So both those experiences, obviously probably is pretty much the same because we beat the same team twice. But
was the first one sweeter?
That was sweet. Yes.
Yeah, the first one was sweeter.
It was sweet.
Yeah,
it was definitely sweet. It's like the first time I get in the league, I'm a rookie. And I get a title. So I'm just like, man. And the thing is, I played. So it was like, it was just amazing. So I loved it. Man, those were probably one of my favorite moments. Like, winning my first title. Yeah. Definitely.
So talk about your experience in playing overseas. How was it? What countries did you play in? Obviously, I know, but, for someone that doesn't know, like what countries did you play in and where did you play at? And what was the experience like?
So I played in this is my 10th season overseas. So I played in Korea, Poland, Italy, Israel, Turkey, China. I feel like there's one more. Well, those are the places I played that I can remember. But the experience over there is just that's amazing too because like the cultures are so different. So you go into different cultures and live in different lifestyles. Like as a basketball player, we don't have a normal 9 to 5. So we have those times where we can like just go out and be free, like just have practice for 2 hours, rest, have the whole rest of the day off, maybe come back. I don't know, but you have a lot of time and you're able to experience a lot of things going overseas in different places. So I definitely love playing overseas. Still one of my favorites. There's a lot of opportunities for players after, they're done to be overseas within coaching and anything. So I love overseas, and I'm looking to probably try to be like some type of development, coach in China with my old team. So I'm still under contract with them, but try to get up under there with them. So overseas has a lot of opportunities, and I just love the experience. I wouldn't necessarily live abroad a whole year, but
Yeah.
but it's good. I love it. I love being overseas.
So talk about what draws you to like player development. Like, why do you enjoy it? Why is that something that you want to do?
Watching a lot of NBA games and watching them critique a lot of different moves and things like that. I want to put my mind mixed with some of the certain moves that I see from players to kind of put on other players and kind of, develop them. Like, I just love being creative within the game. And, so that's why I feel like I will be better at that than anything else. Because, I've trained a lot of guys, and I love it. And I love it. But I just started, the high school girls is the first girls I actually really trained. And I love it. The girls are really more fundamental than I thought I was fundamental.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize how fundamental these little high school girls are. So it just makes me want to, help others. I love just watching the NBA. Just makes me want to put my mind into it and just say help players too. Like, I feel like I'd be better at that.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's go back to your career. Who are some of your favorite teammates that you played with? The ones that you've really stuck with, over the years, and why do you think that relationship, took for a bigger turn?
So some of my favorite teammates in college were, Tashia Phillips, Special Jennings, Taisha Moss, Katie Rutan, Alicia Behringer, like some of these people, like Dee Dee Jernigan, like, these people were a blessing to play with, and like we had a lot of talent. Like, those were like really some of my favorite people I played with in my college days, for sure. And it was just amazing. And like overseas, some of my favorite people I played with is Elena Beard, Tanisha Wright, Nicole Willingham, Kia Stokes. Who else have I played with? Baywood, Raquana Williams. People like that. Like, those are some of like my favorite people that I played with.
So what was the training regimen like when you were at Xavier?
The training?
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah. Was it tougher than like what you do in the pros?
Yes, much tougher. Like I'm glad professional, but the thing is that it's different styles.
Yeah.
When you get professional, you literally have to worry about your body. So you have to you don't have to lift heavy weights. You do bands, you could do light weights, you could do a lot of different things to help your body as 30 and up. I'll just say 30 and up. But like but the training in college was definitely tough. Like, definitely tough. Like, push plates down this long hallway. Like, this is like it wasn't easy at all. It was very hard, especially if you get in trouble. You got to do 30 minutes on that step master. I've never gotten in trouble in my 5 years there.
Yeah.
Never. So, yeah, the training was definitely hard.
Yeah, so talk about the experience of being off the court overseas. Like, how was it when you were in China? How was it there? Just being off the court and just being just walking around with
in the community.
In the community.
So I'm 6'4". I get looked at anyway.
Yeah.
Being even in the States, but overseas it's a lot. They stare at you like they don't.
Yeah.
Just be all in your face like I'm like, what are you looking at? And then they try to talk to you and you don't speak their language and they continue to try to talk to you. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to walk away. But the people are actually really nice. Like, it depends on where you go. Like, the Koreans, I love Koreans. They are amazing. They're they will pamper you. Chinese people do too. But Koreans will definitely pamper you. I love, it's one of my favorite places that I have been was Korea, and I just love it. It's American but you can also see it's kind of Americanish, but we can kind of still see it has a whole bunch of Korean culture. But it's kind of, they kind of like have that American swag, let's just say. But yeah, I loved it. I loved Korea. Like that was just literally one of my favorite places. But the cultures are very different. Like in Turkey, Turkish people are mean. Typically, like Serbians and they'll like try like the coach I had in China was Serbian, but he was like very aggressive, and the way he talked to people, talked to the girls, and wasn't okay. He ended up getting fired. He wasn't coming back second half of the season because he was just too much. He was like way too much. Like those type, like the Turkish people, them Europeans, they're rude. I can't mess with them. Like I can't mess with them. They're rude. They're rude. I don't think they mean harm. They mean harm.
So let's get a little off topic here. So I know you're someone that loves to debate sports.
Yes.
Who is the greatest NBA player of all time?
The greatest NBA player of all time? Come on. It's Michael Jordan. I'm not gonna like Michael Jordan is the greatest player.
You have said LeBron a couple different times.
I said LeBron is the best player in the world right now.
Right now?
I said LeBron. Okay, if I said anything, I said LeBron and Jordan are on their own their paths.
Mm-hmm.
On their they're on creating his own legacy where he doesn't even have to be compared to anybody. Jordan's already not compared to anybody either. So my own different, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel Jordan is the best player to ever play the game, like ever. So if I would give you an order, like, Jordan, Bron,
give me a top
Shaq,
5.
like, you know what I mean? Like Shaq, to me, okay, so top 5, Jordan, Shaq, LeBron, Shaq, LeBron. Oh my gosh. I guess Kobe.
Okay. Kobe. So you think Shaq's number 3?
Not necessarily. It's not no order.
Oh, not no order.
I'm just not no order.
So you don't put Kareem in the top 5?
Not no order because I can't, because I give Shaq a slight edge on Kareem.
Why do you give Shaq the slight edge? Yeah, that's true.
Shaq was the most, to me, honestly, the most unstoppable player was Shaq.
Yeah, I agree.
The most unstoppable player. Like, Kobe, LeBron, and all them, they can have some off nights. So they score 20, 25. They can have some. Shaq was dominant dang near his entire career.
True.
Before he got all bouncing around to all these different teams. But he was by far the most dominant player in the league. Like, you cannot see, unstoppable, completely unstoppable. There's not nobody that was able to stop him. Somebody asked on Facebook about, who would they take, Draymond or Charles Barkley? And they was like, Draymond, because he has more titles. And I was like, yeah. See, this is why everybody is so mixed
there's
up
no
with a lot
way.
of stuff. There's no way Charles Barkley is like way better than Draymond.
Yeah,
like,
he's on a totally different tier.
Whatever, like, he got 3 titles, okay.
Yeah.
He's not better though. You know what I'm saying? That's all people like. People just like, he's not better unless he get a ring. That's how they did LeBron. They ain't better unless he get a ring. Like, okay, y'all, come on, man.
Me personally, I can't agree with that. There's no way that Draymond is even on Charles Barkley's
level.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, not even close.
Like, to me, I have certain tiers.
I don't even know if he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
I think Draymond will be in the Hall of Fame.
You think he'll make the Hall of Fame? It's tough.
I think it's tough. It is.
Let me tell you why. There's so many years left. It's tough.
Yeah.
That resume, I don't know if his resume is strong enough.
He doesn't have a Defensive Player of the Year yet, does he?
I thought he did.
Oh, if he has one, then he'll probably get it.
I thought he did have one. I could have sworn that 2000, either 15 or 16. I don't know. I
The
don't.
reason I say that, the reason why I say that is because the only person to not get it is Ben Wallace. He's the only person to not get in the Hall of Fame with a Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So far, besides like the ones who just won, like Rudy Gobert. So,
right.
I think it is important for everyone to look at that. I think Draymond probably does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but he probably will get in there.
Draymond, ooh, wait, tough. I miss it. I miss these. I miss these debates. I want to get on Facebook and check some people because I know there's some people that be on there. But I just hate when people bash LeBron so much. I hate that.
Why do you hate that?
So like okay, so somebody was like, LeBron don't have that killer in him.
Yeah.
And I'm confused because what does a killer have to do? This man, this is just his career stats.
I think he is a killer.
25, dang near 8-8.
Yeah.
Like what? He's already a pass first. He's already a pass first guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we already knew this coming into the league. That's what he likes to do. He likes to get his whole team involved.
True.
I just don't understand what people think is like, oh, LeBron needs a killer. He don't got that he don't got that mentality. The man in the playoffs that they lost, the man averaged 35, almost a triple-double. 35, like 10 and 9 or something like that. 10 and 10.
I'm one of those guys. I think LeBron is probably the greatest player of all time. I think so.
He definitely. I'm not gonna say okay, yeah. You know, sure. I'm not. I wasn't gonna be the first one to say it. You know.
Yeah, I think he is, and that's the thing. I was born in '97, so I know what I know about Jordan. Obviously, I'm not as familiar as some people in terms of just being able to see it and feel it. But I've always thought, I'm not gonna say I've always thought. But for the longest amount of time, I've been the type of person to say that like LeBron is better, and most of my friends believe that LeBron is better. But I'm not sure if that's just my generation, but I don't know.
I just and I love LeBron so much. I just can't put him. I can't put him over Jordan at this point. Only because that Jordan's jump shot alone, and if you really look back at Jordan's film, Jordan only went right. People don't realize
True.
Jordan really went right a lot.
That's very true.
And he really didn't have that many handles, but he just had, he had this, he had his footwork, and he had, he just had that grit.
Yeah.
But I mean, LeBron is just LeBron. That's my guy.
Yeah, like LeBron is probably I think the best LeBron is probably the one in Miami. I think so. Which was the best LeBron?
Ooh, no, that was. You're right.
Yeah.
That was
some
one
people,
of my favorite times watching him.
Yeah, some people think it's the Cleveland before. Some people think it's Cleveland after.
I don't think it was Cleveland before because he still was. He wasn't even barely in his potential. He wasn't even in his prime yet.
Well, I didn't think he didn't shoot the ball very well from the outside. And with Miami, he shot 40%. Like, if you can shoot 40% from three, you are a shooter.
Yes.
So you got somebody like LeBron, 6'9", I don't even know how much he weighs, 260 plus.
I had 280.
280? Yeah, I think so.
280.
EJ said when he was at USA that LeBron weighed in at I believe it was 285. So when you look at that, I mean, you got someone shooting 40%. I mean, that's pretty tough. Yeah, that's pretty tough. You talk about 285. That's
a monster. Like, But the thing is, who also is big though is Dwight. Dwight is huge.
Yeah.
See, and the thing about Dwight, I didn't know how he was gonna do with the Lakers this year.
Yeah.
But he has surprisingly done very, very well.
Yes.
Very, very well. Productive minutes. Better than JaVale McGee. I feel like Dwight should start, but I see what they're doing with Dwight. He needs to be limited minutes because of his back, which makes sense. Yeah. But he's definitely doing very, very well for the Lakers. Good fit in, and it's somebody he wants to play with. You can tell when somebody wants to play with somebody, they play different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They play absolutely different. Like, it's crazy.
So, you played in the WNBA. What was some of your toughest matchups? Who was some of the – I'm not going to say your toughest match. Who was your favorite matchup? Like, wow, I'm really guarding this person. Or someone that, you've matched up with that you really enjoy playing.
CP3.
Yeah.
Yeah, CP3 was one, because we kind of had the same type of game.
Yeah. Someone that could do it all, score from the inside, score from the outside,
right.
defend.
And
because I've always thought you and Candace Parker were a lot like Kevin Garnett. Like Kevin Garnett and Kevin Durant. I always thought that you and Candace Parker were very similar. And then Breonna Stewart is right there.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people gave me the.
Yeah, I thought you guys were all you girls were all like a mixture between those two.
Yeah, playing and also playing against Stewie was tough too. We was battling out and trying to she was blocking my shot. I'm like, yo, she's long.
Yeah, she has a 7'1" wingspan.
I went. Oh my God! I went and moved and I went to the middle like in my normal move, and I knew I had to float it because I knew she was athletic. I floated it and she caught myself. I said, okay, I gotta switch it up. Like, oh snap, okay. But she was a tough matchup. BG's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
And
how was it guarding Brittany Griner?
Cam Beige is a tough matchup.
Oh yeah.
She's legit 6'9". There's no way.
Yeah.
I can guard her side to side. She's not gonna drive past me. But if I'm in her, and like she just turn around and shoot literally over me. Like I'm 6'4", my wingspan is like 6'7". I don't have a long wingspan, but it's like I'm like, yo, what am I supposed to do with this? Like she's like, unfortunately, she is quite tough. Like she is quite tough.
What was it like guarding Brittany Griner?
She's strong, heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 6'8", heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's good. It was just normal. She's just solid. Like it's just a wrestle. It'd be a wrestling match with her, like tough. You know.
Yeah.
For her, so yeah, those matchups were fun. Like those matchups are fun.
Talk about some of your favorite guards that are in the WNBA.
Simone Augustus, Tiffany Prince. Sky. Man, I mess these guards. Man, these are some of the amazing guards. Like I love watching them play. Kelsey Plum is coming out. Like getting. She when she peak, she gonna be tough.
Yeah.
She's gonna be tough.
That's one thing that's a lot different with the WNBA. I think with the WNBA, a lot of players will end up playing with each other because it's a smaller league. And that's the unique part about it, is that sometimes when you want to see like a dream matchup, it would be easier to happen. Like right now, you see Sky and Diana Taurasi. Like no one would have ever thought, okay, they could play the same team.
Phoenix always been tough. Phoenix always been the tallest team in the league.
Yeah.
But like Phoenix is gonna be nice. DT, but the thing is, they need DT to be healthy.
Yeah.
DT's not healthy, so
they've always had like the Dewana Bonner, like being like the 6.
Yeah, she got traded though.
Where'd she go?
Oh man, where did she go? She went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Where did she go? Actually, let me check WNBA. I think she went. I don't know. She went somewhere. Actually, I just go to her page.
Yeah, because I always thought that she was a really unique player in general. Because she knew how to play inside and out, handle the ball.
Connecticut, I think. I think Connecticut. Yeah.
So who are some of the players that you like in college right now?
She's 6'6" at least.
Dewana Bonner 6'6"?
Honestly, I haven't really watched too much college women basketball. I mean, I see some of the highlights from what they post on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I say the girl Sabrina.
Yeah.
From Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yeah.
I think she's pretty tough, but I can't, because that's what they're talking about. Now there's a couple high school girls that I like. The little Haley girl and the Page girl. Yeah. They tough.
Yeah.
They got highlight tapes is nice. I'm like, yo, they them girls is nice, and they doing stuff dudes do in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They incorporating all that.
So what do you think
those
the
are
future is of the WNBA?
What I think the future is?
No, the future.
The future is?
Yeah.
What I'm hoping for the WNBA is to get more leagues, so they can get more opportunities for girls to play in the States.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's gonna be tough. That's money. You know what I mean? Like they gotta get a sponsor. They gotta do this. That's why I feel like the NBA should go ahead and help. I feel like the NBA can afford, each NBA team can afford a WNBA team.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should go ahead and invest. As much as they talk about it and support it, they need to go ahead and do it.
So how do you think that would work? Would they just be like a sponsor, or would they just all be in the same program?
I don't know. I have no idea. I hope they just figure something out, because I think more women should have more opportunities to play in the States. Don't have to go abroad, because we have to typically put more pressure on our bodies. We're playing longer.
Yeah.
Technically, we're playing longer than
men.
Well, we're not.
For most people that don't understand is like a lot of women.
The men have 82 games.
Yeah.
So I can't really say that.
I say that you guys play longer, and I've always said this because I've said this in one of my other videos. You guys travel overseas playing the season, maybe travel somewhere else playing the season, and then you guys are in training camp in the WNBA and then play there.
You're right. Absolutely.
So I think the amount of games are equal, but you have to train, and you're doing training camp. You're doing multiple training camps in a year. You're only really supposed to put your body through as a professional. Once you get past 25, you're only supposed to put your body through one training camp a year.
Right. You know what's crazy? I didn't even think of it like that, because that's exactly what happens. That's for my 3 years or whatever. That's exactly what happened. Like, I only had a week break from the WNBA season, going to overseas, and then when I come back, I had maybe 2 weeks. You know, so there's really no break.
And that, to me, the toughest part is not like, okay, you're going in and, okay, it's a week before the season. No, you guys have a training camp, and that's that's tough too.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But you know, in some of my videos, like I've talked about, you know, WNBA teams, if they were all a part of the same program, and they started, you know, remotely around the same time as the NBA season is ending, and then finish right in time, right before the NBA season starts. So I think it would be good, because then I think there would be a nice transition to the end of the NBA into the women's season, all the way from the WNBA into the men's season. So I thought, you know, about that.
That makes sense.
And then on top of that,
around the world basketball, both worlds.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because then the women can use all the facilities of the men's, you know, 24/7 while they're there, and they can continue to do that, and then it makes the season even longer.
Yeah. Facts. That's good. That's actually a good idea. You should go ahead and get that to somebody.
Yeah, I actually, you know, have and you know, you want to know another weird thing that I've also thought about that could generate more money for the WNBA is having it in like more second tier cities. If a major city is not going to sponsor it the same way.
Yeah.
Like having the Indiana Fever in Fort Wayne, because then that would be Fort Wayne's team. More people will come. It'd be their own.
Got you. Mm-hmm. So you kind of want them to kind of break away.
I would say either go into the same program or break away. I'm not necessarily the same as sponsorships, because that's what's happening now, and I think there's not a simple remedy for both. So I think one thing that if you had a sponsorship that they don't really take advantage of is the season ticket holders. So the season ticket holders are not saying, okay, we want this season ticket and then have it, you know, all the way through. I think it's really important. If you're going to be a season ticket holder for the Pacers, then you should be a season ticket holder for the Fever. But, you know, they don't have that same option. I think if you're going to be a season ticket holder, it has to be a year-round thing.
That makes sense. You got some ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do for sure. Because there's a number of different ways. I really do believe that the WNBA could make more money, and maybe even branch off from the NBA, or kind of really be just a part of the NBA.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Because
Makes sense.
I was a type of person that thought that the WNBA should have its own video game. I didn't necessarily like the feature of it being an NBA 2K.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they should make a totally different game.
Facts, facts. Maybe they're using it as a platform for
Yeah,
them to
yeah,
kind of get
stepping.
out there.
Yeah, that's what
The
I thought
stepping
about.
stone, yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe that would be tight because my brothers and friends were like, "Yo, if they had a WNBA game, I had it. I played it. I swear to God."
yeah, yeah,
So that'd be nice though. That'd be definitely nice. That'd be
for
definitely
sure.
nice.
So thank you for joining this podcast. I got to have you on when we start doing the in-person ones, because right now this is all we could do for the most part.
Yes, facts.
So tell everyone where they can follow you at.
You have to follow me on Instagram, amharris11, and then you go my Twitter, amharris11, and then Facebook, Shanae Harris. So you can follow me on there.
I'm sure. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to have some more videos for you. We're going to have some more highlights for you of this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe.